So I did want to talk about Overwatch, the new 3v3 elimination mode. Jake, you and I played together a lot over the weekend. I don't know how many total hours. And that was my first reintroduction to Overwatch since, I think, Ana. And I wasn't playing. I played Ana a little bit in this mode, but Joey, you got in to play Sombra. You did a few live streams for us. Right. I played Sombra for the first time with the 3v3 mode. And I kind of wanted to talk about it, see how it changes up the Overwatch formula, and also like whether you agree with me that this is your favorite way to play Overwatch now. I know we had talked about it a little bit before, and there are kind of some nuances to it that make that a little complicated question. But I don't know. I want to start off. How much 3v3 mode have you played, Joey?
I played not a whole lot. A couple matches with my friends, maybe totaling close to about 2 hours.
Okay.
And for the most part, we stuck to pretty basic formula. One healer, one tank, one damage dealer.
Yeah.
Which tends to work pretty well. And that might actually be the problem. I think it can work too well in the sense that a lot of these other characters that aren't going to do well in 3v3 just won't get played.
Right. Yeah, that was the thing with us. We were playing, and we kind of switched it up every once in a while. Like if we were ahead by, so it's best first to 3 wins. And so, but it's also elimination, obviously. So, I mean, I got like...
So that, yeah, that changes up a lot because you only have 1 life. So
yeah, you're more focused on survival. Yeah, and so like, but that's the thing with like a lot of people. I see a ton of Roadhogs. I see a lot of Zaryas between Roadhogs and Mercy. Yeah, but I see a lot of like in terms of people that can heal themselves. Roadhog, Bastion, Mei, Zarya just auto heals. Who was my favorite character, so I was playing her the whole time. It does kind of exclude certain heroes from being played a lot. It doesn't exclude them, but I mean, I don't know. I went in with McCree a few times and didn't feel like I was doing much. Like he would have been a good damage dealer because we had like someone playing Roadhog. We had someone playing, Mercy. Mercy is kind of like the go-to healer for this mode because you can get her ult. And I think the map is small enough where if she does her ult and revives people, it's pretty much the entire map almost. Yeah. It is one map, Antarctica. Jake, what do you think of the map?
I mean, I think the map is fine. Like what I'm more interested in is just the dynamic of 3v3. That's what I was having fun with. It would have been really nice to have at least another one because like you said, we played this like, I don't know, 5 hours straight. Yeah. And we just played Antarctica over and over again.
Yeah, it's pretty much so. Eventually I ended up playing a lot of Hanzo, oddly enough, because his like spread arrow worked really well in like the tight quarters in the other buildings. But right away I would fire the recon, the sonar arrow, into like the other building on the other side, and if I didn't see anybody, I'd be like, oh, they're probably over here. And then at one point I fired over there, they weren't there. I was like, oh, they're probably in our building. We're like, where the hell is everyone? And we searched this very small map for about like 30 seconds. All right, what's happening? What's going on with this game? They had camped right at the spawn with a Reinhardt and then a Bastion set up behind him and then a Mercy. So they were just waiting for us to come to them. So we got smoked because we didn't realize what they were doing. The Bastion just mowed us down. Once we figured out what was going on, we kind of just like went in there's a side tunnel that leads into their spawn hangar.
And I just lobbed grenades in there as Junkrat.
Yeah, it becomes kind of... I do like the dynamic of, it's almost like, maybe not rock, paper, scissors, but there are like some psychological games you could play with people. Like they did that twice. We're like, oh, they're going to do a 3rd time. But then one of us was like, no, there's no way they'll do it 3 times in a row. And they didn't. They actually came out as like Genji and Hanzo or someone. But I do like the fact that it is elimination. It makes me think more about what I'm about to do. I'll be way more focused on surviving than I normally would. Especially like, I know D.Va got that buff recently, so her health is up to 600, if I'm not mistaken. So we had a lot of divas, like you said, Joey. There's a lot of tanks going on. Like what? I don't know. Like what character were you playing?
I played mostly as Junkrat just because I'm like pretty comfortable with him. And he does, I feel, okay. He tends to work better with a lot of people around him and just getting randomly hit by grenades. But the thing I'm more worried about is a lot of the other defensive characters like Torbjorn and even Symmetra, even though she's classified as as support, but she's a pretty defensive character. People like that, they're not going to have as much use because people are moving around the map so much, and it's not going to give them a lot of time to set up. And I feel like those characters are going to be kind of falling by the wayside as far as 3v3 goes.
Sure. To mention Symmetra quick, they got that update today where she can choose between 2 ults now. So she has a shield generator, which she can hide, and then it just shields everybody within a really large radius. Jeff Kaplan got on the Overwatch developer update today to talk about that. That could be way more useful than the teleporter. Because again, the teleporter is mainly good for this is a brief tangent. I just like Symmetra a lot. And the teleporter is good for obviously like getting your team back to that first capture point.
Yeah.
Then it becomes less useful as the match goes on. But I could see that being huge, especially on such a small map. Like not only worrying about the other team, but trying to find the shield generator where it's hidden. That could be a really cool dynamic. But yeah, that's the one thing. Like I don't see myself ever really using Ana anymore in this mode. She's not going to do enough damage to be the damage dealer. She's not going to... She doesn't heal fast enough like Mercy would or Lucio up close. I just don't... It definitely kind of is tailored to, you know, support certain characters. And luckily, like, the characters I like are all kind of favored in this mode between, like, Lucio, McCree, I don't know, like Hanzo, or just, again, maybe, like, Zarya is my main, and she does really well in this mode. Or at least I do really well with Zarya.
Yeah, although I thought Zenyatta... He's support, right? Because he was pretty deadly.
I feel like he's probably the best healer in 3v3, mostly because you're constantly trying to hide in 3v3, so he can heal. You know, he can heal behind walls and just keep running away while poking at them. Yeah,
and then ultimates become really valuable in this because, you know, like I'd say maybe 75% of matches end before most people, unless you're like I don't know, a Tracer or a Mercy will have their ults. So then when someone does have their ult, especially like we said, Mercy, she's just... If you're doing damage to someone, you want to make sure you're trying to kill them, because if you do enough damage to them and then they just run away and Mercy heals them, you're just contributing to her ult. That's all you're doing.
Yeah.
So you really need to like kind of plan out when you're going to attack. I did find that, again, I was way more worried than I usually am about like what I'm about to do in this mode. And we played just regular 6v6 right afterward. I think we just had a good team, but we felt like we did a lot better. I don't think we died like a lot of us, Jake, when we were playing.
Yeah, you're definitely more concerned with like your movement, what you're gonna do. You think things out a little bit more.
Yeah,
I'd say.
And it does, like if you're trying to hide later on, it'll reveal the last two players. If it's like 1v1, or if it's just one person left, it'll reveal them, and then that becomes like kind of a matter of just finding them when they're highlighted through walls and whatnot.
Just running away.
Yeah, because like just trying to run away, especially if you're D.Va, like you see here, D.Va just gets ejected and then just pretty much waiting to get her mech back. I guess the main question I wanted to pose is like, this mode is here to stay, from what I believe, right? It's not just like a event. Do you see this as something you'll come back to a lot, or do you just kind of see this as a one-off thing for you while you just focus more on like payloads and capture
I feel
points?
like it's for me. For me, it's more of a one-off thing. It's more of just like a fun thing. If not every one of my friends are online and only 3 of us there, we'll do it because, you know, since it's part of the arcade mode, you can go into this, and if you do get 3 wins, you'll get a loot box. So there is an incentive to play these, as opposed to, as far as you know, just wanting to get into them. But I think what that mode offers more than anything else is teaching people the importance of their own life.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you know, when you know that you're going to die and you're not going to respawn for the rest of the match, you're going to value it so much more.
Yeah, totally. It's again, that like kind of, especially if you're not playing like a self-healing character or something like that, it definitely does make you consider like your actions a lot more. I don't know. Do you see playing 3v3 a lot more, Jake?
I think so. I mean, especially though, like kind of to set the stage. When we played, it was like I had a monitor set up, Mike had a monitor set up, and then another person had a monitor set up. We were in the same room, like screaming at each other and like
telling Nick Margarita, our third, that he sucks at Overwatch.
Yeah. So like I feel like that definitely adds a lot. I'd still play online with 3 people I know, but by myself I probably wouldn't. If it was just me, I'd probably go 6v6.
It's almost like we were talking about Gears of War 4 Hordes mode a lot lately, and you and I played that a little bit together, and it does seem like something that I wouldn't value it as much if I wasn't playing with like friends, and like even like over voice chat. You definitely need voice chat for this, because like calling out where everybody is, like I'm about to ult if I'm Mercy or someone, even more so than normal. I think it's reliable, like mainly on communication and everything. But yeah, I'm personally going to play 3v3 a lot more, and I can't wait to do that, as long as, again, I have friends. But anyway, yeah, cool. Well, that is Overwatch's 3v3 elimination mode update. Yeah, you can play it now on consoles, on PC. Again, it's pretty intense, but it's a fun new way to play. I don't know. Try that out. Let us know what you think in the comments below.